Sugar City Morning Show. A lovely, beautiful morning. What a beautiful morning. What a beautiful day. Folks, we went to sleep last night and we wake up this morning. But also last night, we had some great showers of blessings around 3 o'clock this morning, right here in the north. It started raining heavily, 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 and that is blessings that is coming from up above. So once again, we say good morning to one and all, and we welcome you to the Sugar City Morning Show. And we always get some blessings coming in, and I'm thankful that we can share them with you as we say good morning. Blessed, thankful Thursday morning to all, hoping all is well. Remember how blessed we are and that God is good all the time. He's always standing by. So whatever it is that we are going through in our life, let us take it to Him in prayer, for He is in control, and we want you all to have a very wonderful and blessed Thursday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our international connection, and may you have yourself a lovely, lovely day today. Right now, this morning, Glenda and Darla and Faggy and Glenn and Miss Rosie, they had to wake up the day after the big birthday bash because yesterday was Mr. Pete's birthday, and he's in heaven resting right now. So they might wake up right now and maybe still cut one of these slice of cake and drink one of these soft drink. But, that is gone now. But like we always say, God is standing by. And talking about that, let's link this morning with our sister in Delve. It's Thursday today. We should be having Minister Aragon right here on the show today for this Thursday. And as we said earlier, we got to sleep last night. We wake up, we had some showers of blessings, and all we need to do is to always remember to give thanks, and that's what we are linking with our sister in Delve for this morning, to give thanks. So good morning, Delve. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Checky, and good morning to everyone listening.
Okay, what a wonderful day, and we need to be thankful. So let's jump right into our thank you for this morning.
All right. This morning's verse I'd like to share from Job chapter 13, verses 15 and 16, and it says, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Even so I will defend my own ways before him. He also shall be my salvation, for a hypocrite could not come before him." Almighty and Heavenly Father, Lord, I just come to give you thanks once again this morning. Thank you for your wonderful and your amazing grace, Lord. Thank you for keeping us, Father, through these trying times, Lord. And though you slay me, Father, though we go through the trials and the tribulations, yet will I trust you. Increase our faith in you, O Lord, that as the storms and as the trials they come, Father, that we may keep ever focused in you, believing in our hearts and knowing that you will never leave us nor forsake us. So this morning, oh God, I just pray, oh Lord, just a special blessing upon every person who has ears to hear, Father. I pray for them, and I pray, oh God, that right where they are, that we meet them, oh Lord. Meet them, Lord, for those who are in need financially, for those who are in need of a healing, for those who need marriages to be restored, Father, for those who need children to come back to home, Father. I pray for them, Lord. Meet them where they are, Lord, and guide them, Father, in a way that only you can. I pray for this show, for all who make it happen, Lord, and may you receive the glory in and through all that you allow them to do. I bless you and I give you thanks in the mighty name of Christ Jesus. Amen.
Amen, amen. What a wonderful prayer. Like you always say, we always say that these prayers, they just keep on getting stronger and stronger every day.
To God be the glory, Mr. Checky.
Yeah, so you may hear the rain last night or sleep through it?
You know what? I sleep through it. I only see the evidence of it this morning because when I step outside, everywhere went. But I don't have a thing last night.
Yeah. Well, we have a disturbance in the weather out there, so we should be having some tropical wave coming through according to how the weather path is looking right now. But sometimes things shift, but we could just get prepared. It's not a hurricane, but we're supposed to have a lot of rain coming down.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's Thursday and we got poem, right?
Yes, and I am ready with it. And this one that I would like to share is entitled Planted, Not Buried.
Planted, not buried.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead
It
then.
goes like this. All right, it goes like this. He sat at the back of the classroom with great big tears in his eyes. No breakfast, no interests, not driven, and very relentless. He refuses to be consoled. He refuses to speak. For big boys shouldn't cry. They were built strong, not weak. But the tears told another story, one that penetrates deep. When one complained that the mattress is too hard, he has nowhere to sleep. When one murmured about tagging along a little brother, he has 7, no dad around, and the moms outside around the bed. But he sat at the back of that classroom, taking in whatever he could, and right at the door of his eyelids, a story and more tears stood. When one complained about the food not being nice, among 7 is shared a pound of rice. When one complains that the shoe fits too tight, he doesn't even have one that seems to fit right. But God looks over his children and fill them with his grace. Let the children come unto me, he says, and I will wipe the tears from their face. He sits now in an office wearing the great suit and tie. Frowns have now turned into smiles. No more broken tears from his weary eyes. For in each a seed is planted, awaiting to give rise. So take heart, for God promises a harvest, but time has to take its course in each and every life. Planted, not buried.
Planted, planted, not buried. So you could look upon that like life after death as well?
Yes, it can apply to life. You know, at times we may be in a dark situation, maybe abuse. Let us take abuse. Maybe sometimes people grow up in an abusive home, and sometimes it might be one of the same family members who might abuse you or something, and everybody look on that person. Look how they abuse. Nobody know love her. Nobody know want her. And nobody sees the light that God has in that person. On the physical, there is the abuse, there is the swollen eyes, there is the hurt. But what God has on the inside, it is planted in there. And as time goes by, God allows for, the right people, the right circumstances to start making a shift in our lives. And when that person's life start to change for the better, and there are a lot of stories who start off with people being planted like that, they go through rough things, and when they come out, they shine. They end up being a blessing. They end up being in a better place. So not because you go through a rough situation now, or like the prodigal son, you pick the now and behave. That does not mean that God does not have a purpose. It does not mean that their life cannot turn around.
Yeah, true, girl, because we talk about like the shoes and clothes and things like that. Sometimes you don't know what the person have to go through, or it's how much affection they go and they say, man, I buy this to my daughter because this is the way I can afford. I know you like it. And when they go there, carry it. No, I mean I want that, mean I wear that. Then they got some kids with just the sword and shoes that they could wear it again. They try patch it up.
And a lot of the times, especially with kids and stuff, they have the tendency to look down on the Lee one where you see two of the pop three shoes. They look down on them like, you not have this, you not have that. And that it's not because they want to be like that, that just circumstance. But everything has a season, and God has everything for a purpose. And until that purpose is completed, then someone can go to the next stage in life, or to the next chapter that God has planned and prepared. And when it turns out sideways, again, like we always say, believing begin with us. If we believe in what shucks, I will wear shoes with my toe, they pop out of my shoes for the rest of my life. If you believe that, no matter how much pretty shoes you get.
Yeah, that's true. Right? That's true. Because you see now the golden days, sometime like some of the elders, they used to have some nice bicycle, but they have the Rally bicycle. Rally is a very good brand when it comes to bicycles. And somebody that go buy a new one for them. Sure, me don't want that. I must stay with my Rally. I must stay with what I know about, what I like. But when you talk about the one of the kids, sometime in a school, they got some picnic one want to sit down side and leave picnic because maybe they don't even have uniform, or maybe they have one tear up shoes, or they got one least school bag, like one least civ school bag. Sure, they got some picnic one want to sit down side and that kind of kids there. You know.
Right. And then those are some of the same ones who turn out, Mr. Jackie, to be
smart.
Someone in life, because God has a purpose for every person. We might start out small like David. David was small, but to bring down Goliath. He was planted.
True.
And when you plant something for growth, buried means you're dead. They only bury something when they're dead. They're not got life.
Yeah, true.
When you plant something, there is hope for life. Something's supposed to shoot out of the ground.
Yeah. And sometimes someone is seeing kids when they don't want to sit down side and once they've got to tear up shoes then and they want to get a high 90s and 100s and so, you know.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know, this morning also, Delve, before we go, you know, I would like to also commend all those moms out there, all those dads, those brothers, those sisters that are at home minding a sick. You know, they have some lady where they right there so they mind their husband because their husband's sick, you know. And then lady not left them for nothing. They have some man where they mind their wife. They have some people that mind their brothers, their sisters, their kids. And they stay right there day by day, side by side, you know. Sometimes I wonder, you know, how them people get all the strength if you deal with all of that. I mean, I talked to a lady the other day and she tell me one time she had to back her husband off of the bed. He gets so much pain and things like that. But, you know, give up, girl. You know, give up, you know.
You know, when you really care for someone, Mr. Check, you love someone, the farthest thing is to give up. Yes, you want to get tired physically. You know, you want to get overwhelmed. You might even feel sad, especially if the person you are caring for used to be strong and vibrant and, you know, used to be your backbone. As a person, you're going to feel hurted by it. But giving up, that's the last thing you think about. So.
Yeah. So we have to commend these people that are sharing these carings, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Very good.
Really good. Lord, give them the strength. Yes. It takes courage to do that.
Yes, girl. They go through a lot, you know. They go through a lot. Then have people.
Yes.
Some people where they can't. I don't think they could do it much now. But some of them, they got some of the family members at hospital for 2-3 months, and you got them people right there so they sleep with their loved one. Sometimes they got shift for the change. Okay, you that is 8 hours, you that is 6 hours, but still sometimes they got somebody in the crowd that said, "Cho, me not mess with that. Me not go in there."
Yeah.
You know. But
there has to be balance.
Yeah.
You know, there have to be balance.
Yeah. So I want to give a big blessings to all those moms out there, those wives that are minding their husbands that are minding their wives, you know, kids that are looking after their parents and parents looking after kids, brothers looking after brothers, sisters looking. We want to send out a big blessings to you all this morning, man, and don't give up the hope. Don't give up.
May the Lord be their strength, because strength and everything else come from Him.
That's right. That's right.
Them the strength to endure.
Yeah, and to their neighbors and people who give them helping hand as well and give them those encouragement, and for missionaries that goes around and pray for them, you know, it's a grand commend that we have to send out to them, you know?
Definitely, Miss Peter.
Yeah. Well, thanks once again, Delv, and we link up tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday, you know?
The weekend, like 10 days, and they go fast. My long leave is piling up, but slowly but surely.
That's right. Well, thanks once again, Delv, and we link up tomorrow.
All right, if the good Lord so wills, Mr. Cheque mañana.
Okay, thank you so much. Folks, at this time now we'll be checking in with the Belize Met Service for today's weather forecast. Right here, coming in from the Belize Met Service right here today. And, yes. Okay, so let's check in with the Belize Met Service right now for today's weather forecast, and we need to read this one this morning because the recording is not up. But the general situation, this is the morning forecast for today, October 1st, 2020. This report came in at 6 o'clock this morning. The general situation, moist and unstable conditions will continue as a tropical wave approaches the area. The 24-hour forecast, cloudless spells with a few showers, periods of rain and isolated thunderstorms increasing around the country this afternoon and tonight. The winds are blowing north to northwest at 0 to 10 knots, and the sea stays slight with waves expected to be from 1 to 3 feet. Let's take a look across the country. We are looking at cool temperatures because when we talk about 88 degrees in the coast, that's cool, and 88 inland, that's cool because we usually they're in the high 90s around this time, and in the hills it's 78. The outlook for Friday and Friday night is for cloudy skies with a few showers, periods of rain and thunderstorms in the afternoon, especially over northern and central areas. So we should be having some rains in this area. Remember, if we did a tongue so rain, that means we're not getting rain because the rain back at Blue Creek and in place the rain up, but we still then not, right? A high tide will occur this morning at 9:41, followed by a low at 4:08 today, that's PM. Another high tide tomorrow morning at 9:58, and at 4:18 we will expect a low tide tomorrow morning. And the sun was up this morning bright and early at 5:43 and was set today at 5:40 p.m. Your general weather forecast brought to you by the Belize Met Service and certainly by Nortevision Channel 10. Folks, once again, we invite you to keep it locked into Channel 10 right here as we continue bringing you the latest report. At this time, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we will be joined by Minister Aragon because we have the East in the house today. Have yourself a wonderful one, and we'll be back after these messages right here on Nortevision Channel 10.
Saltar la frontera es ilegal y coloca a toda la nación en riesgo. Nuestros vecinos, Guatemala y México, han experimentado un rápido incremento de casos de contagio de COVID-19 y hay más muertes cada día. Personas entrando a Belice ilegalmente, viniendo de esos países con múltiples casos, no les están haciendo las pruebas de COVID-19. Es por eso que es importante reportar a cualquiera que entre ilegalmente a Belice llamando a nuestras líneas directas. Para Smart, marque 0800-586-7377, 0800-267-3377 y para Digi, marque 0800-728-3293. Tolerar o participar en entrar ilegalmente es ponerte a ti, a tu familia y a todo tu país en riesgo. Recuerda, cualquiera que sea arrestado deberá pagar una multa de hasta 5,000 y o prisión por 2 años. Detén el salto de fronteras hoy. Este mensaje es presentado por el Departamento de Policía de Belice y el Banco de Belice.
When you think about compassion, care and kindness, the area representative of Orange Walk East, Honorable Elodia Aragon Jr., immediately comes to mind. He has demonstrated through dedication and hard work that the people he represents are his priority. His work in Orange Walk East to deliver goods and services has been never-ending. Infrastructure, streets, water, land, social assistance, sports, and education are areas in which Mr. Aragon has focused and delivered to his people in the Orange Walk East. Honorable Aragon has lived a life of dedicated service to his country and people with an excellent track record. Orange Walk East deserves the best, so For continued development, vote for Honorable Elodio Aragon Jr.
The United Democratic Party is gearing up for a fourth consecutive victory and the opportunity to continue delivering for Belize. Tune in to our virtual rally on Thursday, October 8th at 7:30 p.m. to witness the official inauguration of the Honorable Patrick Faber as the new UDP leader. Farewell to the outgoing party leader and for the unveiling of our 31 candidates for the 2020 general elections. The UDP's virtual rally airs live on Channel 7, Channel 5, Love FM, Wave Radio and TV, and on Facebook. See you there.
Development comes through vision, dedication, and hard work. These qualities possessed by Honorable Elodio Aragon are in full display as he embarked in a project to open new streets in Carmelita Village. This will allow access to new landowners to their own little piece of the jewel. Honorable Elodio Aragon Jr. and the government of Belize, leadership that works.
Since 2014, Honorable Elodio Aragon has been quietly and consistently assisting deserving residents of Orange Walk East through a pantry program that he put together using personal resources and also with the support of generous business persons. It started with the distribution of 100 packages per month and has now doubled to 200 packages per month. The packages comprise of rice, beans, flour, and sugar, which are staples in any household and a great help to the recipients. During the state of emergency in the month of April, Honorable Aragon also prepared and delivered 3,000 food hampers to residents of Orange Walk East. In the first instance, 1,500 parcels were delivered, followed by 1,500 more 2 weeks later. This was done because Mr. Aragon was aware of the hardships some of the area residents were going through due to the COVID curfew. This is a man who cares. Honorable Elodio Aragon Jr., with you always.
Honorable Elodio Aragon remains steadfast in his commitment of delivering on his pledge to the people of Orange Walk East. As a result, Palmar Village is receiving much needed attention. The main street that passes through the village, which has been eroded due to rains and use over time, has been upgraded by your area representative and the government of Belize. Street works will be ongoing in the area. Honorable Elodio Aragon and the government of Belize. Leadership that works.
On election day, let's make the right choice. Re-elect Elodio Aragon Jr. With you always, leadership that works. Representing Orange Walk East, because our future matters. Not even a question, who may vote in me. You already know me voting for the UDP, cause they are the best one in the driver's seat. So I put to excited so for the son of the East. Yeah, we talking about who? Aragon, Aragon, Aragon. We talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. The number one, we talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. One and only son out there of the East. Yeah, we voting for Aragon equality. Voting.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's exactly 29 minutes now after 7 o'clock. Folks, we have the East in the house this morning, and representing the East every week we have the area representative, Honorable Minister Elodio Aragon. Good morning, Minister. Welcome to the show again.
Yes, good morning, Cheke, and of course, good morning to all the radio listeners who are tuning in at East Radio 104.9. And of course, a special good morning to the people in Orange Walk East, especially if you're in the villages or you're in town. I want to say a pleasant good morning, and it's a pleasure being here. Check it back in studios at Channel 10, no?
Yes, and Minister, we are in the month of October. Today the airport opens.
Yeah. Big day for Belize right now, you know?
Very, very big.
Yeah.
And also, we know that, everything when it comes to registrations, and so people are still registering, but we know there was a cutoff date,
Right.
you know. But there is something, lots of big thing happening in Belize, in the country of Belize, under the government, you know, the United Democratic Party, and things that we cannot close our eyes to, especially when it comes to the infrastructure around the country. And infrastructure is not only building roads or bridges or doing other projects, but importantly, it brings jobs, which is important, like the factory coming up there in Carmelita. These projects bring job.
Right. Of course, Chicky. I think that, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about being able to move this economy. And that is why I think one of the reasons why the airport is opening up is because we need the foreign dollars to come in, you know. And I think it also allows for Belizeans to be able to return home, because there's a lot of Belizeans that are still out there who have not made it back home. But definitely, I think that the economy needs to move, and the need for the airport to open in terms of allowing foreigners to come to Belize, I think is important. It is a step that we have to make sooner or later. And I think that the Department of Health Services and all those who have been involved in terms of the preparation and the planning for people to come to Belize, I think have done what they can. And I think as they progress, they will get better at what they are doing. And I do think that the measures they have put in place, I think definitely will really help to ensure that we don't have a wide outbreak of the COVID in terms of coming out from abroad, you know. But like I said, nothing is perfect, but nevertheless, I do think that the Department of Health Services is doing everything it can at this time, no?
Yeah, but us as Belizeans need to take care of ourselves as well, because, you know, the tourists, they are coming in. People want to come to Belize, because we understand this weekend, between now and Sunday, we have close to 500 persons coming in, no? So tour guides, persons that work at those hotels, they need to take care of themselves. People that are selling, because, you know, they will be in contact with some of the tourists somehow. So we need to take care of ourselves and take care of them as well, no?
Yeah, of course. I think that the responsibility to be safe and the responsibility for others is on every single Belizean, you know. I mean, everybody has to do what is necessary to protect themselves and to protect others. And I think that if we abide by these regulations or the protocols that have been set out by the Department of Health Services, such as the social distancing, the wearing of the mask, etc., I think, Checky, that will go a long way for us in terms of ensuring that we have a safer Belize. And it's the onus is on every single person. It's not to say, well, that one or this one. It's everybody must do their part, you know.
Yeah. Also, Minister, the bill that was passed in the House on Friday, can you break it down a little bit, especially when it comes to privacy of citizens, people writing, people saying things, people posting things about individuals? Can you break it down?
Well, the cyber bill is not a small bill, you know. Has a lot of things that is there. You need to really sit down and go over it. But to a large extent, I think it goes one to the protection of young people. It lends itself to that in terms of pornography or people who prey on and use the internet to communicate with young people. I think it lends itself to the protection of our children. And the other big part is that it assists in terms of looking and dealing with people who use the internet to bully people, to put threats and to give false information. And apart from that, I think it lends itself to assist in law enforcement initiatives in terms of the detection of crime and dealing with international crime likewise, you know, when it comes to the use of the internet. So I think on a large scale, it's a really big bill in terms of all that it states out there. But I will tell you this, I sat on the House committee that looked at the bill, and I will tell you that one of the things that the members that were there, they were all in support of the bill. You have seen these things at the House meeting, and likewise at the Senate yesterday. But at the end of the last Senate meeting that they had, I think everybody supported the bill. And what you will see, what I will tell you is that in that House committee meeting, we had the members from both the PUP and the UDP basically look keenly at the penalties that were there to ensure that the penalties were not lenient, but rather harsh enough to deter people from engaging in all these illegal activities or activities that will now be illegal. And I think that was a good thing because it sends a strong message to everyone that will not be tolerated in this country. I think it is a bill that has long been overdue, and I do think that at the end of the day, nobody has to worry about that bill unless you're going to do mischief or you're going to do illegal things with the use of the internet.
That
So
can
apart from
detect
that,
those fake profiles as well.
well, I don't know to a large extent fake profiles. I do think that at the end of the day, it is what you put out there. You go have a fake profile and not write nothing bad and things like that, but it is the content that will dictate a lot if it is breaking the law or not. And I think the cyber bill is not only for that. I think a lot of people figure, that just for that. No. A large part it does in the protection of our children in terms of dealing with people who we would term predators and child molesters and these things.
Okay.
Because the internet is there. If we have our children on the internet every day, and people use that means to communicate with children and lure children and all of these kinds of things. So
Right there, the predators in there.
of course, and so this cyber bill basically assists to counter that situation. And likewise, like I mentioned, it's a big bill, and you have to look at it in its entirety because it lends itself to various facets of what needs to be done in terms of safeguard Belizeans and to protect Belizeans in terms of the internet. So, and those who use it for not for good reason, So, I do think that it's a good bill, and it's been long overdue. But we are glad that it is here now, and I think it will, as time progresses, that bill will have to be amended and expanded and all of these things, because internet is here to stay. I don't see that going away anytime soon, and therefore I think as we progress, more regulations might be introduced, etc. But I think it's a great start for Belize, and definitely I am in full support of that. No?
Okay. We have the opposition getting ready for election as well. Same as the United Democratic Party, we have some independent candidate. But we were looking at some documents that was saying some similar thing that is there, that they have now, that was there from 2008. But apart from that, they are claiming that this is a new party, a new People's United Party, when it comes to its members.
Well, Chicky, I don't know, but I don't think there's a Belizean out there who will swallow that pill, right? Because definitely the PUP trying to present itself as a new party or a new group of people or even being reformed is the greatest sham or scam that they are trying to put over people's eye, I think that I would want to call it that a great challenge to deceive the Belizean people, because in no way, shape, or form is this PUP party today and its members anything but new. They're not new, definitely. They are not reformed, and they do not present new candidates. That is a fact. If you look at the history of the PUP in the last 15 years, it is the same characters that are there, same people running. And these are the leaders, these are the head honchos, these are the people at the helm of the PUP party. So these are the same people that are running today, who still run the PUP, who are still managing the PUP, were the same heads who mismanaged, who were the architects of corruption, who were the people who brought this country to its knees. And so when they come and present themselves as new, present themselves as reformed, or people who we got new, fresh set of people, that is a total false statement, you know. And we have to point that out, and I think that every Belizean out there knows this. And for those young people who might not know, listen, check your history. Check and find out. Because all these people, starting from Johnny Briseño, down to the Fonsecas, down to the Musas, the Marines, the Spat, man, these are the people who were there before. Then are the architects, those are the masterminds that set up things where we saw millions upon millions of dollars being stolen from the coffers of this country. And I will tell you that Belizeans had to demonstrate out there. We had to go through a lot of things to show our discontent. And at the end of the day, the people booted them out totally, nearly, right? Mm-hmm. And since then, they have not yielded the requests of the Belizean people, which was to clean your house and come back. What they have done, in effect, is huddled together, have stuck together, and are now coming forth and saying, well, we reform. Man, the dog will eat egg, brother. You can't change him. And this crowd here, they're are wolves in sheep clothing right now. And I say this, Shaki, because this is the truth. You won't think that Johnny Briseño, who has gotten thousands and thousands of acres from our Belizeans, will now come and say, well, you know what, we need, because in the manifesto, every Belizean have to get a piece of land. Well, he didn't have to wait for an election. He could have take a couple thousand of those acres and give it back to the Belizean people and say, guys, this is for Ono, and give it back to Ono so that Ono could come and get on a piece of land. Huh? They don't do that. There is no love and care for the Belizean people in the PUP, make I tell you. Because if they would have loved their country and loved the people of this country, they would have stepped down, because that was the right thing to do. It is still the right thing to do. But they have not. Why? Because they don't have no love for this country. All they are there for is for their own personal and political gain, Checky. And this is the truth. This is the bottom line in terms of who the PUP is. And I will say this to all of the PUPs that are out there, all the PUPs that are there. Man, this party of the PUP and its members do not represent the PUP of the past. Make we be real about that, you know, because we have a lot of PUP supporters that are out there. A lot of PUP supporters that are out there who truly believe in the right thing, just like our UDPs believe in our party for the right things. But the fact is that these bunch of people, and I say bunch because I know one or two, you know, checking out a real bunch of them, they are there vying to be put back in office because they were in office already. And these same people are with the same people, Checky, that really brought this country to its knees. So you ask me, and you ask the Belizean people out there, will we give these people back another chance, man? And then come with their nonsense and treat us like if we have no education. They treat the Belizean people with disrespect. They treat the Belizean people like if the Belizean people cannot read and understand. Like if we as Belizeans don't love our country and wants the best for our country, and then come with what? They reform. You know, they have been singing this a long time. Then come that they are a new party. They have come now with what? Their manifesto. And what are their manifestos saying? That the same things from the last manifestos that they've had. They only regurgitate it in terms of putting it out there, changing up some lead designs, but the wording is in effect the same. Free education, talk about free health care, talk about land for everybody, talk about housing. Listen, Checky, there is the same thing that they put out there, but it is only words with no substance. There is no program on how this will work. And they put this in a time when people are suffering through COVID. We have an economy that needs to recover. You can't go and recover an economy on big spendings in terms of saying, well, I'll do this and that. But this country have to come together. So anybody who understands how these things work, Checky, will tell you that their manifesto is a bogus, it's a false presentation that is there to deceive the people And the Belizean people, I think, read right through this. It is only those who do not want to understand this issue will believe the lies of the PUP.
But you think that the voters of Belize will look at it that way, that you
Well,
are
of
presenting
course,
it right
I think
now?
so. I think so, Checky. When they talk about so much jobs last time, I don't know if you remember the manifesto. More jobs than there were need to. You understand? We never had enough people for put to work. You know, it is the kind of ridiculous things that they put out there. Listen to me. At the end of the day, it is the United Democratic Party who have been here with the people. And I'll be the first to tell you, again, the UDP not perfect, man. But it is a party who has triumphed the cause of the Belizean people. It has triumphed the cause for a better Belize. And you could look at all the kind of works that have been there, all the kind of infrastructural works. When the PUP were in power, they stole millions upon millions of dollars, brought on the super bond to the Belizean people. This UDP, you could see that where the money has gone, man, in the kind of infrastructure, the kind of development in terms of education, in terms of our road infrastructures, in terms of the kind of industries and business that we are trying to bring into this country, you know, and it's not an easy thing to do. But Checky, you can see the difference. The difference is as clear as night is today. And I say this because why? When you look at the PUP right now with Johnny Brisson, these people cannot be trusted, Checky. Cannot be trusted. Will you entrust a nation right now that needs good management, that needs sound management to bring about our economic recovery? Will you trust that to the PUP? Come on. These people left on their last straw. They should have gone and retired and done the right thing for this country and for their party, and they should have left a long time ago. But they did not. They held together, and now they are here asking people to put them back into office, man. I don't know, brother, but another pan crack, another pan nothing. Because I would have want only somebody with a pan any kind of drugs would I even consider putting these people back, Checky. Because we love this country, man. I know they say the UDP fully perfect, man. But, man, this is a party who has proven itself time and time again that it stands with the Belizean people. Huh? Yeah. And we have to use common sense and logic as Belizeans. We have to say, you know what, at the end of the day, this is the option that will take this party to a continued progressive progress. That is the UDP. What is the PUP? The PUP is a party that has proven with the same leaders here right now. Remember, the important thing is that they are the same leaders at the helm. Johnny Briseño, the Musas, you had two, now you have two still, right? You have Espats, you have the Marines, you have the Fonsecas, you have the Hydes. My brother, these are the people who, they lead that party, you know, they're not at the backbenchers, you know. They are the ones that are at the front, at the helm. And these are the same people who were in the ruling government last time. And what did they do to this country is unforgettable, and it is unforgivable. This is politics. This is leadership of our nation. You cannot entrust people who have betrayed this country and brought this country to its knees, that have saddled us with the super bond that our children will still have to pay for years to come. Checky, listen to me. We have to be real. How will we entrust the PUP with this country? We can't. Not with this set of people. Not with this set of people, and people must understand these things.
But looking at the voters, you know? Minister, how do you balance that off? Because, like you say, nobody is perfect, but how do you balance that off when, with allegations coming out from the ruling party as well?
Listen to me. Like I've said, the UDP is not perfect, Checky. You know, and it's made up of people. And wherever you have people, things happen. My thing is this, is that, yes, I know say the party perfect, but hell, the UDP has proven itself time and time again. The influx of new blood this party has, man, speaks for itself. The continuous transformation, you having a new leader taking helm right now in the name of Patrick Faber. This is the kind of things that you know that this party is a party that is here for the people of this country. They're not like the PUP. You see Johnny Briseño gone, Johnny Briseño and Musa still they fight. Musa in his same tism, they try to look for, take this thing back. Take the leadership of the PUP back. It is only because God put a hand there and tell him, boy, take one break and rest up. If not, the man still fight for this thing. It goes to show you that the PUP under the leadership of Johnny Briseño means nothing good for this country. And I don't say it because I have a personal thing against him. I've never had for me, the kind of decision that will be made right now in this coming election in the next month or so means a whole lot. You know why? Because it is a decision that we as Belizeans have to make in the governance of our country for the next 5 years, my brother. 5 years, and time waits on no one. And we must put the best possible people there to ensure that we move this country forward, especially where we have to recover from this COVID pandemic.
Yeah,
and who you are entrusted to. That like if you have to travel far, Checky, you're going far and you have had a long night and long work day, who you are entrusted for drive your vehicle? Huh? You have to put somebody you sure will not fall asleep at the helm, right? Yeah. You have to put somebody that is responsible, that you could trust. That's somebody that knows that they will take you to your destination. So, you think you entrust that to somebody who has shown that they're irresponsible, that show that they are drop asleep by you? Huh? Would you trust your life to that? No. So why will we entrust the PUP right now? We can't entrust it. We know where our destination is. We know where we want to take this country. The Belizean people want a better Belize. The Belizean people want to see a progressive Belize. Man, and that has only happened under the UDP. If you look at the entire history of the UDP, it is the UDP government that has always been here for the people. When PUP bring disaster to the country's finances, it is UDP who brings it back up. We have seen that time and time again. But the important thing at this point in time, Checky, and for Belizeans across this country to understand, is that right now, a very important decision will have to be made. And I know say how we can put the very same people of the PUP right now into office, who were the same people who were the architects of corruption, who brought this country to its knees under the leadership of Johnny Briceño. Okay? He was the deputy prime minister. He can't excuse himself. He can't hide behind one screen. This is what it was, and what he's trying to do right now with the PUP and bring the same pack of wolves back and presenting them as new reform and things like that is the greatest deception that they want to pass over this country.
Well, we'll take one break, Minister.
You know, we can't stand for that, brother. I tell you that.
Yeah, we're going to election, and when we come back, we're going to touch base about the United Democratic Party getting ready for election, and let's see what's some of the plans when it comes to the economy and the recovery.
Right, very important, Chicky.
We'll touch a little bit on that, folks. We have Minister Aragon. Good morning to the listeners of the East Radio. Good morning to the East. We have the East in the house today. And also, we are live on North Television Channel 10. When we come back, our lines will be open at 302-2170. That's 302-2170 that you can call. So we take a break. We'll be back after these messages right here on North Television Channel 10.
When you think about compassion, care, and kindness, the area representative of Orange Rock East, Honorable Elodia Aragon Jr., immediately comes to mind. He has demonstrated through dedication and hard work that the people he represents are his priority. His work in Orange Rock East to deliver goods and services has been never-ending. Infrastructure, streets, water, land, social assistance, sports, and education are areas in which Mr. Aragon has focused and delivered to his people in the Orange Rock East. Honorable Aragon has lived a life of dedicated service to his country and people with an excellent track record. Orange Rock East deserves the best. So, for continued development, vote for Honorable Elodia Aragon Jr.
The United Democratic Party is gearing up for a fourth consecutive victory and the opportunity to continue delivering for Belize. Tune in to our virtual rally on Thursday, October 8th at 7:30 p.m. to witness the official inauguration of the Honorable Patrick Faber as the new UDP leader. Farewell to the outgoing party leader, and for the unveiling of our 31 candidates for the 2020 general elections. The UDP's virtual rally airs live on Channel 7, Channel 5, Love FM, Wave Radio and TV, and on Facebook. See you there.
The development comes through vision, dedication, and hard work. These qualities possessed by Honorable Elodie Aragon are in full display as he embarked in a project to open new streets in Carmelita Village. This will allow access to new landowners to their own little piece of the jewel. Honorable Elodie Aragon Jr. and the government of Belize, leadership that works.
We have made unprecedented investments in developing the backbone infrastructure of our nation, which has positively impacted every community in this country, with new roads, sporting complexes, water and waste management systems, hospitals, schools, electricity, and internet connectivity. These investments have contributed greatly to the movement of people, goods, and services, and has bolstered our economic growth while setting the stage for a new era of Belizean prosperity in the upcoming decade.
Since 2014, Honorable Elodie Aragon has been quietly and consistently assisting deserving residents of Orange Walk East through a pantry program that he put together using personal resources and also with the support of generous business persons. It started with the distribution of 100 packages per month and has now doubled to 200 packages per month. The packages comprise of rice, beans, flour, and sugar, which are staples in any household and a great help to the recipients. During the state of emergency in the month of April, Honorable Aragon also prepared and delivered 3,000 food hampers to residents of Orange Walk East. In the first instance, 1,500 parcels were delivered, followed by 1,500 more 2 weeks later. This was done because Mr. Aragon was aware of the hardships some of the residents were going through due to the COVID curfew. This is a man who cares. Honorable Elodie Aragon Jr., with you always.
Let's take a look at the PUPDNA. Julius Espat, representative for Cayo South, was sold the Chief Justice residence by a PUP government for a mere pittance and turned around and flipped it for over $1 million. Cousin Luke Espat got a sweetheart pass from the then PUP government when they sold him the country's most valuable asset in the Port Belize, and he allowed Ashcroft to take it over. Now cousin Mike Espat, representative for Toledo East, brought the VOA compound in PG with a DFC loan, which was later written off. He sold it for millions. Corruption is in the PUP DNA. This is the same old PUP.
On election day, let's make the right choice. Re-elect Elodie Aragon Jr. With you always, leadership that works, representing Orange Walk East. Because our future matters. Not even a question, who may voting be? You already know we voting for the UDP. Cause they are the best one in the driver's seat. So I put your excited suffer the son of the East. Yeah, we talking about who? Aragon, Aragon, Aragon. We talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. The number one, we talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. One and only son out here of the East. Yeah, we voting for Aragon, equality. Voting Aragon, he's the number one. Yeah, voting Aragon, he get the job done. Yeah. And we so blessed, Elodie Aragon bring progress. Hard working, nothing a novice. Elodie Aragon show progress. Leadership that works.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show, folks. It's exactly 8 o'clock. We have the East in the house today, right here on North Television Channel 10 and also live on the East Radio. Minister, you were talking about the election. This election is a very important one and it's a tough one. You know, everybody know how the economy stand, and you alluded to some weeks ago that it's over 20,000 public officers along with teachers that the government have to maintain, well, pay, And also we have the street lights and everything. 'Cause the government pay for the lights that are up on the street too,
Right.
But right now, the economical situation going into this election and for the next 2 to 3 years from now, does the UDP have any plans when it comes to try to work this economy to bring it up?
Well, of course, I think there's the economic recovery plan that the UDP has, where it will look at how they deal with things starting from now. I mean, in terms of how they move about in terms of trying to get this economy back on its feet. I think it's a well laid out plan. There's a lot of things that has to be worked out, but the whole concept of what needs to be done is there.
Hello, good morning, SugarCity Morning Show.
Yes, pleasant good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I just wanted to have a little say. We all know that the pandemic in Arindwak is the worst in the country. And therefore, we from Arindwak, starting with us, we must all do what we can to avoid the spread of this virus. Therefore, for me, I must state this. It is most unfortunate and alarming when Kevin Bernard sends his campaigners in groups on a house-to-house political campaign. Does he not realize, or he has no regard for the people? Especially his own campaigners, who he is greatly exposing to the punishing dangers of COVID-19. Young man, how can I, as a politician, send my people out there in danger? And not only them, but the people they are going to go and visit. Checky, let me ask you one question. You don't have to answer. Would you appreciate any political campaigners to visit you and your family at your house during this height of the pandemic? Especially since you know that these campaigners are going house to house and may have become virus carriers and transmitters. Now, would you, as a father, have children? You have your wife, you have probably your mother and your grandfather living with you. Would you appreciate for these campaigners to come in groups to tell you about whatever? Man, it is a political time. But we must be careful. We must understand that we cannot endanger the lives of our people out there. We cannot endanger the lives of the people we send. Man, something crazy with that Bernard, that no sense. His ambition is too much that he doesn't care about the people, and he doesn't even care about his own people.
Well, Carla, to answer your question, at this time, I am not even allowing my family members to come and visit, and I don't go and visit my son and my daughter at this time. We talk on the phone, and that's about it.
Well, Carla, to answer your question, at this time, I am not even allowing my family members to come and visit, and I don't go and visit my son and my daughter at this time. We have a phone, and that's about it.
Carla, just talk, Carla. You're on the air. Yeah. You're done gone. Still there.
Yeah. I think he's getting the feedback. You know? Hello?
Yes. Well, I agree with you, Kevin. I am at home here, and man, the people, they call out there, I want to the political campaigners. I don't care if they are UDP or PUP campaigners at this time. I mean, I cannot put in danger the lives of people out there. And like I said, Kevin Bernard does not care who gets sick. He does not care about anyone, not even this country, except his selfish ambition, which I am sure will be destroyed very soon. Thank God for that, because he has more concern for the people of this country, man. Thank you.
Okay. Minister, not to go off of what we were talking about, the economic plan. That was one of the main reasons why you had to close your office temporarily,
Right. What happens, you know, you see this COVID period is a time that we have to understand that this is a serious virus, Checky. And I could tell you because, you know, the amount of people I know who are grappling with this situation, we have a lot of families in Orange Walk who have the virus. Maybe we get the call and then we go discuss that because I think it's important.
Hello,
to discuss.
good morning.
Yes, buenos días, buenos días.
Buenos días,
Buenos
amigo.
días. Buenos días.
Solo quiero decir que yo estoy completamente 100% con la persona que acaba de llamar. Kevin Bernard y el PUP no tienen respeto ni les importa a nadie. Esta pandemia, ya saben que toda la gente arriba de 60 son las personas más vulnerables. Yo personalmente tengo 60 y me tengo mi mamá de 80. Imagínense que esta gente venga y traiga la enfermedad. ¿Ah? Esta gente les deben de culpar como criminales porque saben de que ellos pueden propagar la enfermedad. ¿Ah? Kevin no le importa, su único interés de él es ganar a cualquier costa el este. Y nosotros en el este no vamos a ceder. No vamos a ceder a ellos. Porque no importa cuántos años hayan pasado, el pecado que ellos cometieron es gravísimo. Endeudaron a este país por más de 100 años y no 1000 años. Los va a quitar ese pecado. No 1000 años lo va a exonerar de las culpabilidades que esta gente ha hecho. Esta gente destruyeron a Belice. Si no fuera porque ellos no hubieran destruido Belice, bajo UDP nosotros estuviéramos mejor. Ya estuviéramos en una etapa de ciudad con carreteras posiblemente hasta arriba. Highways. Pero esta gente no tiene nada de escrúpulos. Esta gente no merece el voto de nadie. Y le pido a todo el mundo que se pongan y le den el chance a un nuevo líder. Al líder como Patrick Farba, que todo el mundo lo conoce, que no tiene nada de cosas turbios, no tiene nada de cosas que lo pueden arrastrar a algo escondido. Es una persona con buen carácter, una persona respetuosa, una persona humilde, una persona que va a traer adelante a Belice. Así que, señores, vamos a decirle no a Kevin. Y ustedes saben que cuando ellos visitan sus casas, no dejen que entren, porque están transmitiendo la enfermedad. Pueden llevarle la enfermedad a su papá, a su mamá, a sus abuelitos. Así que, señores, vamos a hacer estas elecciones. Todo el mundo sabemos que esta elección va a ser diferente. Ya no es la misma elección de hace 10 o 20 años. Estas elecciones tenemos que cuidarnos. ¿Ah? Y una cosa a nuestro público, tenemos que cuidarnos, señores. Orange Walk, que es el país, es el distrito con más casos de COVID. Tenemos que mantener distancia, tenemos que mantener las máscaras, tenemos que lavarnos las manos. Y si tú tienes una calentura, por favor, quédate en casa. Aisolate. No salgas, tú métete en tu cuarto. Porque si tú estás en tu casa y estás conviviendo con tu familia, hay amigos que va a transmitir la enfermedad. Tenemos que controlar esta cosa. Señores, gracias.
Yeah. Okay, gracias. Well, you know, I think listening to the caller, Cheke, I think it's important we discuss it because, you know, we have to start to understand that this is a serious virus, Cheke. This virus kills. I think up to yesterday, we had 24 deaths already in this country.
Over 1 million worldwide.
That's right. And when you look, we might say, well, we're a small country, etc. But listen to me, 24 is already a lot. Without you know it, if we don't look and heed to the advice of the Department of Health Services, if we don't heed to the regulations that are set out there, check it, this number go from 24 to 100 to 200 to 300 easy, you know. And I'm telling you this because I know a lot of people who have been infected. I think to a large extent I would want to say that I know a lot of people who have gotten over it. But we have a lot of people that I know too who have gotten it. I have a good friend, Charlie Peralta, who is no longer here with us. And there's a lot of other people who are struggling for their lives right now, Checky. People who really, they take one lick, can't even breathe, etc., you know. And my thing is that this is a serious virus. And yes, within our political time where we are going to an election in November. And so we have to be concerned about that. And I do my best, you know, like for instance, my office has closed. But what we have done is I deal with people on appointments only because, listen, people still got things where they have to get done. And therefore, it's only on appointment that people call in, and I tell them, you know, come in, and I will look at it. And we try our best for the social distancing. They're wearing a mask once you reach there. You have to have your mask. We have to do the little things, but we have, because it's a tough time, Checky. And people have needs. People have real issues that they need to solve. And we are trying to do that. The office is not open, but the thing is I can't just shut off as a representative and a leader and say, well, I'm going to hide myself and that is it. You know, and it's a challenging thing. But it is a decision that I think we have to make consciously. And that is why, one, I would not able to host to host, because, I mean, we have to conscious of what this can do. Because you don't know if you have it. You don't know if you will get it from somebody out there. So I don't want touchy thing, but make we continue after this, Carla.
Hello, good morning. Channel 10. Ajá, dime.
De que nosotros tenemos el mejor candidato en el este, que es el señor Adrian Aragón Jr. Ese señor que nos ha traído adelanto en el este, el hombre que tiene el compromiso con la gente. Y por eso yo, Margar Leiva, se asocia con el señor Aragón. Y nosotros vamos a ver de traer al señor Aragón otra vez a la Casa de Representantes, y es la persona que va a formar también con el UDP el nuevo gobierno. Muchas gracias.
Yeah, thanks, Margar. Yeah, but like I was telling you, Checky, so don't want touchy thing, because people have needs, you know, and I, as a leader, listen, I have to be responsible and I have to be very careful. Because one, I know if I would have the virus, take it to somebody's home and pass it on, how I would have feel that somebody in that family get a virus or dies, and I could be the person responsible. You know, I can't live with that. Yeah. And vice versa, going to somebody's home and I catch it and I end up bring it to my home, you know, and get somebody sick, and that, you know, tough. And so, you know, this is something that our committee has sat long and hard thinking about how we will do this, and we have made the decision that, you know, I see in Orange Acton a whole heap of people walking around. That not happen, because I can't put the people out there, our constituency, at risk. And I don't think a lot of people that I've spoken to, I know that people not really, just like you say, you know, you look for sick crowds that you went out to 5, 10 people out there where they come to yours, and they have been all over every single resident. And you know that in Orange Walk we have cases all over the place. You know, I do have campaigners who are zealous, who want to get out there, and I tell them, listen, I am not in favor for those things, none at all, right? And I do go and visit people, and I tell you, no, I have a few people who call me, say, Mr. Aragon, I really need to come here, because I say, Mommy, but I don't really depend on visiting. Level, no? I'm not on that level there. He said, but no, we understand, but we'll take precaution, but just come, because I really need to explain to you, there's a situation here or what, and then I go. It dependent on the family, but not something that I am going house to house. You know, I see me they walk the street house to house. If I stop there, because I'm going to say one family who have contacted me and they really want to see me. Because I truly think that at this point in time, we can't put our community at risk. And people not open for having kind of visits at this point in time. I think because of COVID, we have to be responsible as leaders likewise. But we can't hide neither, you understand? They want tricky situation. But definitely, I won't be putting out people out there like in droves of people to campaign out there.
Not even for nomination day that can happen.
Not even nomination, because right now the restrictions doesn't call for more than 10 persons. Check it. So the most I think we'll have out there is a couple people who go with nominate, and that's it. That's the way I am seeing these things happening. You know, there's no mass rallies that we'll be having in terms of that. I think next week the UDP is presenting their 30 candidates. It'll be virtual. No massive rallies where people come again and congregate. Those are nice, you know, Checky. Yeah. But at this point in time, it's not possible. Let me be real. This is a very serious situation with this COVID, and it's not serious for say, well, he's just to do this for planet one. No, this is globally. It is something that is affecting every single nation in the world right now, and Belize is not immune from that. And so we have to take our precautions. Why? Checky, you look at having 24 people have died already, Checky, for this year. Imagine how much people more, if we don't adhere to these regulations, people will get old, and especially the people who have underlying health conditions. This will affect them tremendously, you know. People don't know it until it hit you, you know. And I will tell you, a lot of families out there, where you see the number right now, my perspective on that number is far higher. Why?
Oh, yes.
Because a lot of people get sick, they get the symptoms, they end up they stay home, and they just battle it out on their own. Some people have it bad, and people must understand that that this thing is serious. And so the numbers for me, I believe that it's higher than what is reported, you know, because there's always the underlining what they call the unreported cases. So that was a serious thing. I think Belizeans have to take it serious. It's always a challenge in terms of these things, because listen to me, this is not like we got the best healthcare systems, and not even the best countries with the best healthcare system can manage when you have them kind of outbreaks. But we have to ensure we don't get to that stage.
We're very limited when it comes to that.
You understand me, Checky? And we already have 24 people dead, and there are people at KHMH, you know, struggling for their lives, you know. And so the fact is that we don't want to get to where we get to a point where really we have a massive outbreak, because then it's not good for our people. It's not good for this country right now. Because why? This country, we just try to open up the airport, because we need daily economic movement and things, but we have to be cautious, and that is why I have to give the kudos to the Department of Health Services and all the work, all the personnel, the frontline workers who are preparing to ensure that they can receive people today at the airport and go through the measures and the strict guidelines that must be adhered to for the safeguarding of our nation and those who are visiting us. So tremendous work that they are doing there, you know. Again, a part of the National Oversight Committee work, you know, a work where the leader the opposition walked out on, you know, basically walking out on the Belizean people. But check it overall, I think this is our new year with new challenges in the face of COVID. Man, we can't do the same thing we used to do. Yes, campaign needs to be done, but we can't do it house to house like that. I personally will not put people out there, because, one, how will I be putting my own people out there to be at risk out there like that? We have to limit that, you know, that like maybe house visit, somebody call, and, you know, things like that. But not something where you could go out there and just have 20 people, 30 people walking the streets house to house, and that, to me, cannot be done. And I will not engage in that personally. But nevertheless, like I said, you know, that one challenge, I know we have a lot of leaders out there, the campaign season. Everybody do their own thing. That's fine. But for me, I have to look at, and for me, I always have to look at what will impact our community. And definitely with this virus, I'm concerned about it, because there's a lot of people. That is why when we had last time, one of our East Committee members contracted, say he feels sick, and that we sent him home. We never know if he had COVID, you know, but either my office, anybody will come there and have any kind of symptoms, immediately we send them home. We don't want them wrong, because they can, in fact, impact our staff and everybody that is there. So anybody will come there and they are sick, we send them and say, you can't come, right? And luckily we did that. This is about 2 weeks ago, you know, Checky, because from when that happened, we sent him home. We tell him, we advise you go home if you feel bad, and if you feel a COVID or you have the virus, call the numbers and get swabbed. He did that eventually, and we got to find out that he tested positive. So, you see, then are the precautions we have to take, because if we know that having people coming and hanging around and that we come wrong, end up they could mess we up. So, and we take precautions, because we have to, and when we have to inform that we have to close, we have to clean up, we have to do what is necessary, just like people's store, just like other areas that has been through this thing, because of course, you know, and so these are the things we have to be responsible, and we have to put that out there, make people understand. So my thing is that one challenging thing, you have all these organizations, businesses who have it, you know, they have to open for business, but they have to mind, and the moment you have that, you have to do all the necessary precautions, because why? You have to ensure that we have safety for our people first, and that is why, Checky, this whole campaign thing, An touchy thing. And I think at the end of the day, I think the people will make up their own minds. No matter what you do, people will make up their minds in terms of if they want the UDP or the PUP. I think right now we are about a month and a half away from election. Whenever that day will be called, I don't know, 6 weeks. The fact is that the people of this country, and I've always said it, I think especially we have Belizeans who are well-read, well-versed, understand things, and we are hoping that they understand the difference between the UDP and the PUP. And I do think they do, and the work speaks for itself, like I've always said. And I do believe that people will make that decision on their own. They've always done so, and I don't see no difference in how they will think this time about. We have to, of course, remind people, because a lot of time we tend to forget as Belizeans, the past and this and that, and what is what. We have to highlight these things, and that is why when we talk about who the PUP is today, it is relevant for us to speak about these things, Shaki, because a lot of young people don't understand the Super Bond. They hear about it, but they don't know how it come about. They don't know who are the players. They don't know that. When we talk about Johnny Briceño, and we don't talk this out of just talk because of politics. Shaki, you and me and the whole country knows when Johnny Briceño got up on the rushroom and tell his same PUP colleagues who are here running today, telling them to bring back the millions. He never had a joke. He told that to them out of frustration, bring back the millions that were in banks, in foreign banks, because he knew what his colleagues had done. And these are the same colleagues running alongside him now, Checky. Come on. Yep. If the man get up and tell you a thief millions for you, and we got them put up, and I ask you, my people, for bring them back, it's the same people they run with right now, Checky. They are different. That is same people he is running with, man. So he don't tell this entire country and Belizeans across this country and abroad that, listen, they run with one set of crooks. Because these are the people who stole millions of dollars, Sheki. He knows who they are, but yet they ride along them. What does that tell you of this group of people right now? And that is why I'm saying they are not fit and proper to be in office, Sheki. And if we ever give them a chance to be back in office, this crowd here, in terms of the PUP, Johnny Briceño and his set of Alibaba thieves, I'll tell you, I don't know where this country will go. And we have to be real about these things. That now me say, bring back the millions, That Johnny Briceño said that, in frustration and telling his same colleagues here that are running with him, because he knew then what they had done. And he can't exclude himself because he was part and parcel of that. He must say bring back for him peace and spend some of it, but the rest never bring back. Yeah. And so he called on that. And so right now, you are telling me we could have confidence that he and the same pack of people, we will even consider to give them an opportunity to be back in office? What do you think they are doing? You think if them people ever get back in office, you think they are there because of the love of the Belizean people and this country? No, man. They are here because it is their last straw to pull. You think Johnny wants to just say he went there because he want to work for the people? Man, he not got no commitment. 30 years he's been here. What has he done for his community? Nothing. Huh?
Hello, good morning, SugarCity MorningShow.
Hello, buenos días. ¿Estoy al aire?
Sí.
Sí, señor.
Buenos días. Yeah.
Bueno, quería saludar a... Hello?
Yes, hello. Sí. Solo habla... You got off?
Yeah, it get cut off. Minister, like you rightly mentioned, and everybody know that the country is faced with all of these economic issues, triumphs right now. But we'll be going into an election very shortly, and I believe we have a new leader-elect, and we understand that the party will be launching their 31 candidates sometime next week, and we want to talk a little bit about the new leader-elect, if the new leader will be initiated as the leader of the United Democratic Party when that is held. But let's take a break. I'm going to come back when I touch upon that, all right?
All right.
Folks, will be back right here live on the East Radio, 104.9 here in Orange Walk, and also heard in Belize City. Good morning, Belize City. Hope you're do good. We'll be back after these messages right here on North Television, Channel 10.
Honorable Elodio Aragon remains steadfast in his commitment of delivering on his pledge to the people of Orange Walk East. As a result, Palmar Village is receiving much needed attention. The main street that passes through the village, which has been eroded due to rains and use over time, has been upgraded by your era representative and the government of Belize. Street works will be ongoing in the area. Honorable Elodio Aragon and the government of Belize. Leadership that works.
Since 2015, Santa Marta villagers have seen development like never before. The road, which was always flooded and sometimes impassable, is now an all-weather road all year round. The streets within the village have been consistently maintained, and new streets have been opened. The new Land 12-mile road and bridge were rehabilitated. Electricity expansion was done in several new areas, and street lights were placed throughout the village. Water expansion was also done. As a result, all villagers now enjoy potable water in their house. The old water well had become unserviceable, so a new well has been dug, providing a more reliable source of water to Santa Marta villagers. Prior to 2015, there was no community center, so one was built. A football field was also built and equipped with LED stadium lights. Lots were made available to villagers and their land papers delivered to them. Educational assistance has been given to hundreds of students from the village for high school and sixth form. Every year, mothers are given a treat, and during Christmas, everyone enjoys the generosity of Honorable Elodio Aragon Jr. In times of disaster, Mr. Aragon has always been there for the people of Santa Marta. In good times and in bad times, Elodio Aragon Jr. with you always.
When you think about compassion, care, and kindness, the area representative for Orange Walk East, Honorable Elodio Aragon Jr., immediately comes to mind. He has demonstrated through dedication and hard work that the people he represents are his priority. His work in Orange Walk East to deliver goods and services has been never-ending. Infrastructure, streets, water, land, social assistance, sports, and education are areas in which Mr. Aragon has focused and delivered to his people in Orange Walk East. Honorable Aragon has lived a life of dedicated service to his country and people with an excellent track record. Orange Walk East deserves the best. So, for continued development, vote for Honorable Elodio Aragon Jr.
The United Democratic Party is gearing up for a fourth consecutive victory and the opportunity to continue delivering for Belize. Tune in to our virtual rally on Thursday, October 8th at 7:30 p.m. to witness the official inauguration of the Honorable Patrick Faber as the new UDP leader. Farewell to the outgoing party leader and for the unveiling of our 31 candidates for the 2020 general elections. The UDP's virtual rally airs live on Channel 7, Channel 5, Love FM, Wave Radio and TV, and on Facebook. See you there.
Development comes through vision, dedication, and hard work. These qualities possessed by Honorable Elodio Aragon are in full display as he embarked in a project to open new streets in Carmelita Village. This will allow access to new landowners to their own little piece of the jewel. Honorable Elodio Aragon Jr. and the government of Belize, leadership that works.
On election day, let's make the right choice. Re-elect Elodio Aragon Jr. With you always, leadership that works. Representing Orange Walk East, because our future matters. Not even a question, who may voting be? You already know we voting for the UDP, cause they are the best one in the driver's seat. So go put your That's right, I suffer the son of the east. Yeah, we talking about who? Aragon, Aragon, Aragon. We talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. The number one, we talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. One and only son out there of the east. Yeah, we voting for Aragon, equality. Voting Aragon, he's the number one. Yeah, voting Aragon, he get the job done. Yeah. And no soulless, hello the Aragon bring progress. Hardworking, loving and honest. Hello the Aragon don't know yes. Leadership that works. Tell your Aragon don't come to play. Put the people first. Tell your Aragon after we always. Yeah.
Welcome back to the SugarCity Morning Show. Minister Aragon and Robert Cheque Usher right here with you. We got the East in the house. You can call 302-2170. Or you can send your text messages at 600-5769. You can do it by regular text or by WhatsApp. And remember, we are powered by DJ. Minister, social gathering is tough right now. You had to put off the Aragon's Christmas Cup. You can't get them big rally. Last time you had a big rally when the PM came. Multitude of people. We have the nomination day. Then we have the campaigning. And usually when you used to campaign, we used to say big people, a lot of people campaign along with you. Now the United Democratic Party will be launching its 31 candidates for this upcoming election, but let's entertain our fans. Hello, good morning, muy buenos días.
Yes, good morning, Robert Cheque Usher and the Honorable Elodie Aragon Jr.
Good morning, Robert.
Yeah, morning.
Here, President Orange East, son of the East. Mr. Aragon, as a voter of the United Democratic Party and a member of the Ridgewood East, I would like to thank you for the kind of infrastructure and supporting and education assistance or whatever you have done for the people of Ridgewood East and for probably myself and my family. You have done a great job, and you are now asking we, the Ridgewood people of the Ridgewood East, to give you that you can be assured that me and my family and my friends and whoever I can also speak to will give you that vote election, the minister, because you had shown yourself as proving as a leader for the United Democratic Party and the country of Belize, and especially for the people of the Ridgewood East. So, Mr. Honorable Minister and Robert Cheque Usher, I am still surprised of the People's United Party asking people to vote for them for the next general election, when the leader of the opposition, the Honorable John Desenio, told Julian Chell some time ago that the PUP has a very, very serious bad cancer of corruption and thief, of stealing millions of billions of dollars, and would bring back now this same man that has the leadership of the People's United Party. So they are thief, are asking the people of Belize, the country of Belize, and telling the world that he wants to be the Prime Minister of this country when he's going to end with a bunch of thieves, including himself, right? Wants to lead this beloved country, Belizean people don't make that mistake and go back to the People's United Party. If I could recall, they had an interview with the Fonseca, Princess Fonseca. They said, well, we only use the word freely free, right? It's because, you know, like you want to say, when you use that because of water, we can change this tragedy. Yes, yesterday I was privileged to listen to Julius, and Julius said you can't get nothing free. You have to work where you want. Forget nobody will give anything free. So the PUP are talking on the two sides of their tongue. They do not, they want to lie to people, bringing back the same thing they did 1998 was 10,000 new homes and 50 new jobs, and London Bridge will go when the London Bridge is still standing, thanks to the United Democratic Party that believes it is much a livable area. Under the People's United Party was so deplorable. It was a shame to go into Belize City. So to see how it was under the People's United Party, which is getting back now under the PUP again, he getting back to gradually. The people should one more term in the city council to get back to the same situation it was. The PUP have no future for this country. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. All the PUP wants to go back is to go back there to sing out our national anthem again to their master, their puppet master, and to steal the millions to make them well and to put them back in the foreign bank as John Pretender have said, hold and tell the Belizean people and the world. Good morning and thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, Carla. Thank you.
Yeah, so Minister, I know you miss them big gatherings, especially Aragon's Christmas Cup,
Yeah.
when the requirement they're wrong with all the people.
Yes, almost.
Yeah, now the party will be launching its presentation of its 31 candidates. We're going into election. We know the leader of the party right now, the Honorable Dean Oliver Barrow, will not contest election.
Right.
But then a party goes into election with a party leader. What will be the position when it comes to leadership of the party? Will that be unveiled at the on Thursday
next week? Yes,
at the
yes.
presentation?
I think what is happening next week, I think if you've listened to the ads, I think they have one or two ads going out in terms of the virtual presentation of our candidates, of the 31 representatives. Definitely, we all know already, we have had our convention already, and Patrick Farber is the leader-elect right now.
Right.
And of course, we're going into an election. The Prime Minister is not contesting again, so he will be moving on.
He's following the laws.
That's right, that's right. And so what happens is that I think this whole coming together of the 31 leaders of our constituencies, or representatives for this election, is one is to present the candidates to the people and to the nation. It's also there to highlight the leadership of Dean Barrow, as the Prime Minister of this country, and his 3 terms in office as the Prime Minister. I think that is very important for this country, because at the end of the day, the Honorable Dean Barrow has done a wonderful job in trying to move this economy, move this country forward, and has kept it really progressively doing well. And I think that that is important for us on that date. But likewise, also equally important is the coming to the helm, Honorable Patrick Farber, as the next, the leader-elect, and the person who will be leading us into these elections that is coming up sometime in November. And I think that is also symbolic and important. So this entire event of Thursday is about the United Democratic Party, what it is offering to the people of this country in terms of their candidates, etc., and what we are looking forward to as a party. And I think that, and what this party will bring to the people of this country. So I think it's very important. I think it's the UDP way of presenting our candidates, basically. And I think that's good. We can't wait for Thursday to happen.
Big event.
Big event, man, big event. Check it, if we never have COVID, my brother, among the gathering when we are out there, and never may have joke what, and people may hype up, but it is what it is because of COVID, and we have to adhere, we have to understand these things, and I do think that we understand that fully well, and that is why we are looking at this virtual, basically, presentation of our candidates.
Do you know if the candidates will get a time to address?
I'm not sure, Jackie. I think they are still working on that. Okay. Definitely, I think we'll have little. Yeah, we might say a few words, or they have the campaign team in terms of people that are setting this all up, being in charge of that.
Yeah, be completely different, Minister.
And one new thing,
you got your crowd for constituency, they cheer you and everybody. Yeah, be different now.
I know, well, such is life. I mean, we have to adapt and we must change. And with this COVID year, it brings about a lot of change in terms of how we usually do things.
Right. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Rabon. Morning, Jackie.
Yes, morning, my brother.
What's ya? Mr. Rabon.
Yes, sir, tell me.
I don't know if you watched the news last night, but I don't know. I watched the news last night.
Okay.
So Emiliano Zapata said from our interview last night that he support all the infrastructure what is happening in the country, I believe. Now, Johnny said when he went to all the infrastructure, and Emiliano Zapata said he went make sure that the infrastructure continue. It's the way kind of thing that, the two men, they contradict one another. That will show you the way kind of PUP, how you could vote for them. Because Johnny saying, as he when you stop all the infrastructure, when no work now, the people and the work out, but Emiliano Zapata, Mr. Julius Espat, because he's saying Emiliano Zapata.
I wonder who that.
No, I figure that, yeah.
Last night, Mr. Man, I really watched the news last night for my interview. And if I don't make mistake, the Jews made the question, I said, he support the infrastructure. And Johnny said, when statistics now, that who are the leader? I mean, that's the who are the leader. You know what I mean? And then he got the next man, Henry Charles, for me. Johnny no will be leader. Johnny no make somebody fool you. Henry Charles will be the leader for you. You going down. As he get in, if he do get in, and then we can't get in. Because the country going. The country to move forward. Belizeans, the country is moving forward despite the epidemic what we have. And if we want to continue to make the Belize progress, we have to vote for the UDP. All the UDP no one vote the whole 31. I see progress in our country. Thank you. Bye.
Sabuya know a lot of things, man.
Tell you, Mr. Buya, by making your own assumptions there and think. But definitely the I think he made a mention of something very important. Listen, this country has been steadily moving progressively forward, under the UDP. Under the UDP, here are all kind of scandals in terms of the millions of dollars and the creation of the super bond and all of these things where the PUP had nothing to show. Across this country, I've met a lot of people who have come from abroad and all of these things, and they say, you know what, Minister, it amazes me to come back to my country and see the kind of development, You know that this government is working for the people. You could see the development, you could see how this country is moving forward. I don't say we don't got challenges as a nation, every nation has its challenges. Man, but the UDP has steadily been working for the betterment of this country and has always stood with the people. That is something you have to say, that are the goal in the path, where the Belizean people have leadership that is working for its people. That's very important. The PUP has nothing to show. Nothing to show. And all they have there is their bad resume. And I don't know if as an employer, if the people of this country as an employer will look for hire one group of people like that who have nothing good to show. And disrupt the kind of movement that this country is doing right now to betterment. And I don't say we don't got issues out there. Of course, there's a lot of issues, But at the end of the day, listen, you have to look at what is the best option for this country. We have to be big enough for say, you know what, yes, maybe I'm not happy with this representative because he may do me this, or he never helped me here, or this and that. Those are minor matters compared to what is the biggest thing at stake in this nation is our development, our continued movement to improving this country. You will forego that for what? Because you're not too happy because of this and that, man. Listen to me. We as Belizeans have to know that we want to do the right thing for this country. Because that is important. We make the wrong decisions. It's been proven in history, time and time again, where wrong decisions lead to things where our people suffer, our nation suffers. We have seen it under the PUP. You think we will make that mistake again? I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that the Belizean people and anybody who's listening understand where we are at this point in time. We need a responsible government, a government that is there for its people, especially during this recovery in terms of the COVID pandemic that we are facing and where we need to go and how we can recover from that. That is important. You need a government you could trust that will be there. When you look at the likes of Gianni Briceño, have what it takes to be a leader. Make I be frank. Every single opportunity that he has had in the past to prove himself as a leader, he has failed. He has made the wrong and terrible decisions. The basic thing and we can't forgive him. I cannot forgive him for these things. When he walks out on the people on the National Oversight Committee, man, come on. When the people need you the most, you will abandon them because of politics. Something is wrong. Something is wrong there. When the people needed you to stand firm with what was right for this nation in terms of the ICJ, you said no. Something is wrong again, man. We need leaders that are there first and foremost to this country and to its people. Your party comes second. You stand for your people first and foremost. And that is the kind of leadership we need. And I think definitely the United Democratic Party brings this, and that is why we need to continue to support the UDP.
Hello, good morning. Muy buenos días. What's up, brother? What's up? Yeah, man, you're the right hand.
Hey, go ahead, caller.
Because how this government is helping a lot of people. And yet,
Go ahead, caller. You're on live.
and then they are not helping us, but yet they want us to vote for them. No, man. This is the same old PUP as usual.
Yeah.
Morning, Minister.
Yeah, morning, my brother. Yeah.
Okay, so we understand well what he said, right?
Yeah, I think we understand him fully. He's saying that the PUP has done nothing for us, and they're not there for we. And I, at the end of the day, I will tell you this, man. The people have to make that decision. People across this country must make their minds up, and we have to think of what is proper for this country. Check in if you are thinking proper, and I tell you, put your UDP and your PUP thing on the side, and make we put the cards on the table. You put that there, you make your best decision for this country, man. Your decision is clear, just like with the ICJ. It's clear where we need it to go and what needs to be done. And that is it when it comes to this election. And when you see the PUP put out their manifesto even, that convinces you more of why you can't trust the PUP. Same old story, same old song they bring to you, figuring that you will then buy into that. Let us stick with what we know. Let us stick with the government that has been there for you. And that is my simple request to the Belizean people out there, that we must ensure we make wise decisions as a people. You know why? Because if we not do that decision properly, we will have to live with these leaders for the next 5 years, Checky. And I think we want to have leaders that are there with the people of this country. And that, in time and time again, has been the United Democratic Party. And I don't say it's perfect, but it is what it is in terms that we are far better than what the PUP is today, what the PUP is presenting to this nation right now.
5 years ago, the residents of Orange Walk East elected you as their area representative. Going into this election now, what can the residents of Orange Walk East expect from Honorable Elodio Aragon for the next term?
Well, Chicky, that commitment that I have for the people, I make a commitment to everybody I serve in the East, and of course to this nation. I come from a life of service. From one as far as I could remember, I've been whether in the volunteers and then into the police department. It's all about service for me. And, I've learned a lot in my time in public service and thing. And I will tell you, it gives me no greater pride to be able to say, you know what, I'm working for the people and for my country. Because at the end of the day, that is the greatest love we could have, where we give up for ourselves for our nation. And I am a true believer, a patriotic person that loves my country and our Belizean people, because I think we special across the globe. There's no other country like Belize. There's no other people like Belize. The love where you get out there, because I've been around, Checky, I've traveled around, and there's no other place where you could reach out and say, man, this is Belize. It is the kind of people, the mixture we have, the coming together. I mean, unlike any other place, and this is my home. And at the end of the day, Checky, I am a conscious person that in this life, we know they are forever. And the important thing is what we can impact so that others can prosper and enjoy. And that means that and that is why I put myself to run in politics, because I tell you, politics was never in my interest. My father was a politician before me. I saw what he went through. I lived the life in terms of the sacrifices I saw he took on my family, and that because of politics. And I said, you know what, I don't want a part of that. But the more I thought about it when I was presented with it, the more I knew that there was a way that we could make an impact, to ensure that we move our division forward. And that is why I took on politics, is because of that commitment and that desire to see our division and this country on a whole move to greater heights. Check it, because then you need for somebody fight for the people of the East. Somebody want to fight for what is right for this nation. These are the kind of leaders I truly believe this country needs. And I feel that I am contributing to the Orange Walk East division by being here right now. I feel I have what it takes to continue to work and move this East forward. Checky, you look at the amount of projects that have been taking place in the East, man, tremendous what this East has gained in 5 years. I've always said it, put all the PUP and UDP representatives together for the last 25, 30 years, and then cannot put together the work that we have done in the last 5 years, Checky. And I say that because that is the honest truth. because we are committed to seeing this thing. We are committed to moving the East forward, and that commitment remains strong. And the day I feel that I don't have that commitment to my people, Checky, nobody will tell me to move on. I will move on, because this takes a lot of you. You know, it takes a lot of you. I watch people who have been here in politics for years, and I wonder, how do they do it? Because this thing draining, this thing, I know, and joke. When you have that commitment and you they worry about the lady will ask you that they need money ultrasound, and that you, sometimes it bothers me for know that I not got the leave money for help and right away. Check it, and you, that only one person. Imagine you have a lot of people who have a lot of different issues. Then they need one trip on White Mile, their house underwater. This, you know, the conditions and stuff. I mean, that concerns me, because I take that on as a responsibility and a commitment that I am here to try my best to help people. That is what drives me, that will keep me up every day, every night. It gets me up in the morning and gets me to drive in terms of getting the work done.
Yeah.
Because I have that commitment, Checky, and that is a true commitment here, because I want to know that at the end of the day, the Orange Walk East Division will be the best division in this country. And yes, we have to start somewhere. We have started now, Checky, but there's a lot more work that needs to be done, and we are going to get there. My 4 areas that I've focused on, Checky, it is because I truly believe this is what we need to do for our division in terms of empowerment. And when we talk about empowerment on a whole, it is about jobs, creation of jobs. I've brought an industry here in Orange Walk, millions of dollars investment, and as soon as that company gets off the ground, Checky, you're going to see at least another 150 people employed. Easy. And you know, you talk about the spill-off effects. That is what we do to empower our nation, to empower our people, creation of jobs. And I'm the only representative, as far as I could remember, in the Orange Walk district that has brought an economy like this, an industry to Belize. You know, kick off yet. The COVID has slowed things down, but it will be there, and it will become a reality. 2, when you look at education, Checky, you can say how much help we haven't given out, and I've made sure we have assisted as much people as possible with education, because I know the importance of education to our nation and to the young people who are getting the education. It is imperative that we have an educated society, and that is why I have championed the cause of education 100%, Checky. Because that is true empowerment of our young people. Yep. When you look at in terms of the kind of infrastructure that needs to be done, all those that lends itself to education, sporting activities, etc. That is important for young people to be healthy, or it is important for social interaction, etc. And so that has been a mandate for me, because I know what it lends itself to our society. And of course, when you look at the quality of life for our people, Checky, in terms of lights, in terms of new roads, in terms of expansion of water, electricity for new areas, Checky, land for people. To me, those are very important. That is serious empowerment, when I could give you a piece of land, and when you know that your quality of life has improved because you could walk down the street and you have lights. These are the kind of work that we have really looked upon, because it is important. And all the big infrastructures where we not talk about that are there, new high school in the east, new state-of-the-art preschool in Santa Marta, new building in Louisiana Government School. And the list of other works that we are doing out there. Checky, listen, all of these things lends itself to improving the east. I'm committed to that. I stay committed. And in the next 5 years, we will continue to push forward there, because our priority lies in these areas, because this is the areas that we need to do. You talk about land, man, you know how much people need land, and I'm there, and I will find the land necessary to get this done. We have closely locked off most of the villages, but definitely now we have to focus on the town in terms of the land, and we have the proposal for that. But definitely, that is the commitment I have for the people of Orange Walk East. No?
Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I have a question. I'm hearing about land distribution. Are these lands being given out with a lease buyout, or just a receipt stating that the land belongs to you?
No, at this time.
I know when the land is being given out by government, any government, you have a lease buyout, and the lease buyout states a certain amount of areas that you need to develop the property, you know. So it's just a question. Are these lands being out with lease buyout, or just, telling you this land is yours?
Yeah.
You can utilize it. Just a question.
Yeah, man, sure. Well, there's always a process, and there's a process that you must follow. Definitely right now, in the biggest and the most expensive thing in any land distribution is the survey, right? First, the identification of the parcel of land, and then the survey to divide those in lots. One of the biggest challenges we have is that people don't have the money. Right now in COVID, especially COVID time, people don't have the money for paying surveys. So we have identified the land, like for instance, the ones that we gave out in Carmelita. And so what we did was open up. We had a sketch that was drawn up, etc., with the lots, and we opened those up, and people assigned. The list is there, and we are working on getting those surveys. Once those surveys are done, people will be issued with their direct purchase application form so that they can then apply for direct purchase for that specific piece of land. So we have done that to facilitate people. I don't know how they do it in other areas. I know other areas, they have to go through the same process and get it surveyed, and then they are issued with either an application to survey some people and let them pay their own surveys, etc. But for me in the East, it's about us finding the money for them, because I think it gets quicker. It's done quicker when we do it that way, and two, it assists in terms of having people who cannot afford to pay their surveys to get that done. So we are working on all these things, Shaki, but at the end of the day, I will tell you this. I mean, there's no other greater empowerment than a piece of land, and I will tell you right now, that is one of our greatest challenges. I think we have solved a lot and assisted a lot of people with that, but there's a tremendous amount, especially the people in Orange Walk East Town side, who needs land. And for us to get land for these, we have to have a proper plan, which we have, but just that we don't have the resources right now. But I am looking to effect that very soon early in this next term, to ensure that we can get sufficient lots that are made available to the people of Orange Walk East Town side. And that is being worked on. And like I said, that I am confident we will see, and that will become a reality.
You mentioned three great factors: health, job, and education. You know, with the education right now, Minister, you can't go nowhere go work right now if you don't have a certificate of education.
Right.
You know, so that is very important. You know, and because the world is changing, and Belize is coming up to par.
Right.
So you go get one job, you have to have some education. I think the lowest, well not lowest, but the one that you can use is associate's degree in some jobs. But most persons are asking for more than that, right?
It's get competitive though, because you know, we have a lot of students studying, and you have people who have their high school, sixth form. But I do believe that they should have nobody out there without one high school. That is a bare minimum, I think. And definitely you have people who go farther, sixth form, university, abroad, all of these things. And I do think that education opens the doors for people. It really does, Shaki, because I've been a product of that. And I could tell you it does. No two ways about it. Apart from that, it allows somebody to defend him or herself in our society. And sometimes that education just gives you enough for you could do your own thing too. You understand me?
It helps to build the nation as well.
Of course, and it is important that we have that education. And truly, I think that is why this government, there's no other government that has done this in Ocheke. The amount of the closest we have come to free education is under the United Democratic Party. And I'm not talk. It is about them really putting in the kind of policies under the leadership of Patrick Faber in the Ministry of Education, where we have seen, I say on the PUP thing talk about we have 100% trained teachers. Well, my brother, you late. That both say a long time, right? What the Ministry of Education has done is to ensure that every teacher is qualified. You can't hold one teacher's position right now if you can't get one teacher's license. And to get that teacher's license, you have to meet certain requirements. Yeah. So we have our teachers that are trained. So when PUP, they tell you that you don't know that rubbish, and then just put things sake. It is this UDP government that has made that possible. It is this UDP government that is right now assisting to ensure all people in the villages, all students in the villages where you come from and going to high school, that you get the subsidy automatically. And it is the people who need the help in terms of subsidy within the towns and elsewhere that then get that too. And apart from that, government allots finances to assist people financially to cover some of their expenses at school. Come on, that is a great thing. And when you talk about CXCs, the fourth farm, when you talk about first and second year students getting their subsidy, man, across this country, Checky, that's one major push for people across this country and students, you know.
Hello, good morning. SugarCity MorningShow.
Morning, Checky. Morning, Minister.
Good morning.
Honorable, first of all, I think what the people of Orange Walk East recognize the work that you have done. They know that you have been working diligently since you were elected in 2015. And even before then, as we can recall, all the works that you have done as a standard bearer. The other guy has been walking around. All that he does is criticizing you and not doing anything or showing what he has done, because he has done nothing, obviously. So he walks around, parades around, and just criticizes your work, and even goes to the extent of claiming your work, which is, I mean, what can be expected? They going around giving out some papers to the residents, and one of them is a message where he basically just pats himself in the back and ego-stroking paraphernalia. Another one, a Bill of Rights that has a bunch of nonsense, which I think people can recognize at a glance. And another one is todos ganamos con Johnny. I don't know who the todos when it comes to what they're talking about. Because if todos ganamos con Johnny means it's family and the smart family, then if they refer to that as todos, then we're in a world of problems. Another thing that I have been seeing that they were doing is that they're making these wonderful promises. It's not the first time.
Yeah.
They have been doing this from forever. In 1998, they promised 10,000 new homes. They just promised it in another. They said we will assist or we will ensure that people have 10,000 new homes. This time they say we will facilitate with 10,000 new homes. We know what happened when they got a chance to get
the housing, yeah,
to build or to assist homeowners from Venezuela, from the money from Venezuela, the $20 million that they got. What did they do? They gave it away. They gave it to Ashcroft to pay for a private debt for universal health services. We could all recall that. Even now, the $10 million, Taiwan had also donated $10 million. They swiped that too. It is this United Democratic Party under the Honorable Dean Brown that went to recover that money. Took them to court for theft. We know they got away from that, but they were charged with theft. Said Musa was escorted to court on a charge of theft for that. We cannot recall that, and now they are coming back and talking about promising housing for people. Man, I hope Belizeans are awake, wide awake, and say that the people that did all those wrong things to us back in 98 are the same people that are there promising the same things again.
Right.
Same people, same promises. The only difference now is that they're more mature, they got more experience, and they want to know exactly what to do with it. In our shorter time that they took 10 years for bring this government, this country to its knees. It took 10 years back then. This time, 2-3 years, I want to say what part we are there. Just give them a break and we are say what we are there. Gentlemen, have a good morning.
Yeah, thank you, Carla.
Minister, big question everybody wants to know. When is general election?
Well, I guess the Prime Minister, that is, how I put it to you, that is in the hands of the Prime Minister to make. That's his call.
Yeah.
And I think he will do that whenever he's ready. And I think that if that is, it could be tomorrow, we never know, Checky, or it could be next week, I don't know. That is his prerogative, and whenever he calls it, the UDP will be ready, and I think the country will be ready.
Let's take this slide. Hello, good morning. Please lower the volume of your television or radio, please.
Una pregunta para el ministro. ¿Está seguro, tiene la confianza de que puede ganar y se ha perdido todo el discurso? La mayoría de las aldeas son seguridad. Esa es mi pregunta.
I don't understand the question. Good, you understand the question, Checky?
Yeah, something about the village council.
If we have confidence that we will win the village, of course we will. We will win the villages, Checky, because the people in those villages have seen the tremendous work we have done, And most of those villages, they have been there for the last 20 years with no kind of effort, no kind of development to them. The kind of work we have done in every village, Checky, shows that commitment that we have had to move things forward. But of course, you don't have enough funding. If there was funding enough, we would have continued with a lot. I think it all comes down to the kind of resources and the lobbying efforts that we can do to get things done. And we have done tremendous work in those villages, you know. And the thing, or anybody could sit back and compare and add up. I said, take the last 5, I don't know how much representatives you all have had in the East. Take them by villages and say, all right, for the last 25 years, 30 years, put all those representatives and ministers that were there, put them together, put the work that they have done together, and you compare that to me, what we have done in the last 5 weeks, what we have done as a community, and you will see that the amount of work we have done is tremendous, Checky.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, the village council elections are a different ball game, my brother. So please, definitely, when you look at how we're going for this general election, you will see that the villages will come for me, Checky. We have really worked hard on those villages. There's not a village that could say that we have not delivered. And I'm confident in these things, Checky, because at the end of the day, people will sit back and look at the work that we have done and know who's serious about getting things done. Because remember, and that is why I've always said it out there to our nation, it is important that we make the right decision. Why? Because for the next 5 years, you will live with that decision, you know. And there's a saying that says the community gets the leader it so deserves. Why? Because if you vote for people who are do wrong, or vote for people who are not do nothing, then that is what you will get, and you deserve it. Why? Because you have voted for it, right? But if you vote for people who will work and be committed to you, Checky, you will see great things come about. And we have done great work, and there's a lot more great work that needs to be done, right? And like I said, the PUP could ball from here to kingdom come, because they have nothing else good to say, especially the fanatics that are out there in terms of all they want to see is their party get back in office. I will tell you this, majority of people out there, I truly believe the days are where people turn just fanatic, and that are, it's slowly diminishing. I think to a large extent we are having wiser people out there in terms of people who look at what is the situation on the ground, looking at which party or which government could take this country forward. And I think that is what Belizeans want across this country. They want leadership that is there for them, leadership that has that commitment, that dedication, that wanting, that desire to see a better country and a prosperity for its people. And that is what I truly believe, and that is why I've always said we have to do the work. The leadership that you put out there will determine a lot. And at the end of the day, right now, this election that we are going to, Checky, when you compare the PUP leadership under Gianni Briceño, and you compare the leadership of Patrick Faber right now, you look at the leaders that are running, man, the UDP, the difference is like night to day. The UDP leadership has proven what it's doing. It's going to work, continue to move this country to greater heights. The PUP can't assert that. The PUP, then are wolves in sheep clothing. These are the people who basically brought this country to its knees, who sold out our national assets, who stole millions upon millions of dollars. And I never said that the Gianni Briceño said that himself personally. Bring back the millions that they stole. Huh? Come on. You are telling me one man, they tell you I thief you millions and you they look and he they come back for make you put them back in the office. Something wrong if you want to put he and the people back. Yes or no?
Yeah,
huh?
so
come on.
So you were saying that the Prime Minister that they want to have the call and he could call it anytime
he will call it anytime he so desires. That his call. Definitely I for one have always said, and I always believe in our constitution. Our constitution is set out there. I truly believe that if it is the 4th of November, it should be, let us call the election the 4th of November.
So you are ready?
Let the people decide. Of course I am ready. And I truly believe that the people of Orange Walk is ready. Definitely, for me, my commitment has always been sincere. My commitment to the people and our division, and especially our country, has always been genuine, because it is who I am. It is my makeup, my DNA, that is there for this country and our people. And if we get it right, Checky, everybody prospers in our nation.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Osher. Good morning, Minister.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
First of all, well, let me congratulate the Minister for all his hard work that he has done in the East. It is visible, it is tangible, people can see, can feel
Knowledge on the field is one of those that it's pride and joy of that area of the East, the Pasadena area. I was there yesterday and seeing those young people there, young persons, young Belizeans, enjoying that facility. Lately we have been hearing the opposition and the leader of the People's United Party talking about a belief that works for all of us. But we remember the 1998 and 2008 period that
That's right.
we know who Belize worked for. And she was the one telling us who became millionaires. So we know exactly who we worked for in that period of 1998 to 2008. He called them millionaires. Those that stole or enriched themselves with millions and millions of dollars. Let's not commit that same mistake in putting a People's United Party government and he telling us from the beginning that we are going to work for them and we will go and we will enrich them once more. It is sad reality that the People's United Party have not learned the lessons that the people of this country taught them, that we don't want them to come and steal from us. Belize is a small country. We know what $1 million can do. We know what $30 million can do in this country. We can build schools, we can build hospitals, we can build clinics, we can build, give more scholarships, and they had not even a blink in the eye when they signed $30 million to the Brothers in one day. And they are talking about a belief that works for all of us. But we know who we worked for in the period of 1998 to 2008. Let us stay with the United Democratic Party government. Let us stay with Elodio Aragon Jr. and let us continue building this beautiful country of ours. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank
you,
very much,
Carla.
Well, Minister, it's time for us to go. It's 12 minutes after 9
Time
already.
flies, my brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
So your closing remarks for
Well,
today?
Chicky, I think I've said a lot today. My thing is, listen, we are getting closer to an election. Whenever the Prime Minister calls that day, I think the nation will be ready, and definitely we will be ready here in Orange Walk East. But all I will leave is this again, and to our UDP supporters out there, I'm telling you, listen to me. Stay strong, stay firm with your UDP.
You could have rich or you poor. Tell your Aragon still a knock on your door. 1 vote, 2 vote, 3 vote, 4. Time not up yet, give him plenty more. The hard work, evident, humble, genuine and intelligent. When the people weak, then they with strength. Hello, you're not afraid to go to show the help. Hello, you push the youth and the sports, push the jobs and the roads. People first and the party after. Cause our future matter. Aragon, Aragon, Aragon. We talking about who? Aragon. The number one, we talking about who? Aragon. One and only son out there of the East, yeah. We voting for Aragon, he go and repeat. On election day, vote Elodio Aragon, representing Orange Walk East. UDP down the line, because our future matters.
Confidently that this UDP government has done a wonderful job. We are not saying we're perfect, but definitely it is a party and it is a government that will continue to work. You look at how we have managed this COVID situation. Man, if that they may have run that like on political.
We have made unprecedented investments in developing the backbone infrastructure of our nation,
no politics in this is about our people and we need to reach out to those in need. The kind of governance that this UDP brings to the people of Belize, I think, is good. And I think we need to continue because we have a long road to go, especially in terms of recovering from this COVID and the things that needs to be achieved for the next 5 years. So stay strong with the UDP. And to all our Belizeans out there, think about it. And like I always say, to the PUP supporters out there, man, you and me know that under the leadership of Johnny Briceño and this PUP bunch of people, they don't represent the PUP of the past. They don't represent the father, the nation kind of philosophy. So why will you put them back in office? These are the same people who brought this country to its knees, that sold out our national assets. We have to think not only as party members, whether you're a UDP or PUP, we have to think of what is best for this nation. We have our children, and their children will also need to have a future. And if we're serious about this, then you have to look at what is best for this country. And Johnny Briceño and that crowd, there is not an option. They are not the option right now that is needed for this country. It is the UDP. And so to everybody out there, think strong, think well, and I'm confident that you will make the right decision come this general election, and we will be seeing the UDP back in office.
Thank you very much, Minister. Looking forward to have you once again next week and tonight, Truth Being Told, on the East Radio, and also right here on North Television Channel 10. This show repeats right after Truth Being Told tonight. And also we have repeat of Channel 7 News today, 12 o'clock. We have the hot news coming up at 6. Tomorrow we'll be having Sam back once again, and Emerson. But earlier before that, we'll be having the police department along with Mr. Rafael Castillo to talk a little bit in the first segment about the police and the health department working together when it comes to this COVID. So Raheem, once again, thanks very much. Thanks Nadir. Thanks to the Tiger. I want to wish you all the best. And if the good Lord so will, we'll be back tomorrow right here on North Television Channel 10.
On election day, let's make the right choice. Re-elect Elodio Aragon Jr. With you always, leadership that works. Representing Orange Walk East, because our future matters. Not even a question, who may voting be? You already know we voting for the UDP, cause they are the best one in the driver's seat. So I put